Today repping some Killing Golf t-shirts here, but what we're going to do is I want to look at myofascial release and some different things you can do. One of the big importance of this is basically to help out with the muscles, both with the growth that we're trying to get to make them stronger, as well as just helping out with the range of motion, flexibility, keeping them healthy. That way the blood flow can get through there, clean out all the impurities as well as the oxygen. There's going to be different ways that we can do this, okay? So everybody's seen the foam rollers. I'm sure a lot of you have maybe never touched them or aren't sure what to do with them, but you'll notice there's going to be different colors, and all the colors are basically wet density, okay? So the white being probably the best spot for a lot of you to start if you're not familiar with it, but there's a lot of give. I can squeeze. It's still not going to feel great on some certain spots where we have some trigger points and everything, but again, a good starting point. One of the other things we can do is use a ball, and depending on the area, depends on what kind of ball we might want to use. So we could use a golf ball, and what that's going to do, obviously very hard, but the surface area that it's going to be in contact with the skin will be small. The smaller the surface area, the more it's digging down in there. With a tennis ball, obviously it's squishy, we have some give so we can get onto some spots, bigger surface area. Again, a great starting point for a lot of these, why I had the two out. You can also go with a lacrosse ball. Extremely dense, not any give, surface area, pretty good amount. That really digs into a lot of those meaty and fat muscles, down into the glute, into that piriformis. Depending on how the back is, we can use those for the back. So, a lot of information for you. Again, just know that for golfers, or any athlete for that matter, we want to keep those muscles to where they can move. They're getting the oxygen, blood flow, nutrition in there, keeping them nice and healthy so that we can in turn then get them mobile, flexible, whatever our goal is. So what we're going to do is start with our foam roller. We're going to start down low. So I'm going to put it down onto the calf here. And I always like for the person to cross it over. We're just going to push up and put as much weight down on there as you can. And we're just going to go through and go back and forth looking for any spots that are tender. Okay, that portion of my calf's a little bit tight in through there. So we're just going to sit, spend a little bit of time rolling around on that, trying to get it to release. And what that's doing, imagine that that muscle is basically trapped in a plastic bag. We're trying to break up that plastic bag so that, again, we restore all that natural elasticity in through there. We can switch over to the other side, go down through there. And what I'd really encourage you to do is to work the leg or whatever portion we're on through a little bit of a range of motion as well, because that, again, is then contracting and making that muscle move while we're rolling over it. So getting a little extra stretch in through there. Our goal with the foam roller, this is white, so imagine this is full of white paint. We want to basically paint the entire body or whatever area we're working on. So as I go through the calf, and I want to roll over more towards that shin and work in through there as well. What we can do once we finished up there, if that wasn't too bad, we can drop in on our tennis ball and hit up through there. And again, on the outer part of this calf, I've got a little bit of an issue. But where this will be great is for people who have really tight ankles. A lot of times, again, we've got to be looking at above and below, where's our issue, and getting on there. So now I'm just going to use my hand to dig in, down, around, and through. I'll move it up here so we can see. Really pushing, work through that range of motion. Not a lot going on there for me, but different people have obviously different areas of trigger point, depending on how they stand, walk, whatever. Digging up in through here. Hit as many different areas as we can, okay? From there, we can progress on. We're going to be working up in through our TFL, down into that IT band that everybody loves so much to roll on. Pretty tender in through there. Just down. And again, so up high, I spend a lot of time training as well as stretching out that area. Feels actually pretty good up and through there. But as I get down closer and closer to that knee and I start hitting that IT band, not as enjoyable, okay? And this is where I'll sometimes even bend that leg as I'm going through. Go on and roll it over, and we'll switch legs just so you can see. Hit up that quad. If you want to stretch that quad in through there and roll out as well, okay? Now, one of the big areas with that quad that we definitely want to hit is going to be on this adductor in here. So what we'll do is we'll put this out at an angle. I'm just going to sit down onto that and go up. And you can play around with the height that that leg is. So as I bring my knee up higher, it gets easier to go up next to that groin and get in through there. And I'm just rolling around. Again, put as much weight as you can tolerate on there. Back down pretty close to that knee. That's starting to light up pretty good for me. And we're just continuing on, okay? So it's not rocket science by any means. It's just gonna be spending the time and making sure you're doing it, just finding that comfort level. We're over onto the glute. This is one of my favorite ones. We can go into a piriformis figure 4 stretch to where I'm already starting to feel a little bit. And then we turn towards the area that's getting stretched out, and now I can just roll in through there. And that's really going to dig in really nice on that area and roll around. And keeping the same stretch going, we can go down on that outside. Really good. And we're just freeing all that up. So if you have tight hips, expect a lot of really good results with this, okay? We'll go over to our back. Nice full extension. And you can either roll down through here, but what I found to be a little bit better and a little bit more aggressive in terms of making progress is hitting each one, going down, coming back up, rolling down a little bit, and just working through the spine that way, okay? And then we're over to our lats. I've got this arm up. You can pin it and stretch to here, even better. Hammering that out, get into that rear delt as well. Roll over a little bit towards that serratus, hit in there. And a lot of you are going to have a lot of issues up and under near that armpit. But roll that out, get as much movement back in through there. Obviously we do both sides. And we're going to flip over onto the front. And now we're going to get up in that pec major, minor, freeing that up. This one doesn't work as well because we can't put as much weight on it. Back up just a little bit for you. But get that arm in through there and lean onto it and just roll around. And you can play around with where that arm is because depending on how high or low we have it, that one's going to be pretty tight in there for me. And then you just see I'm sort of just sitting up. So there's no right or wrong, but play around. Whenever you start to find an area that's a little uncomfortable, try to move and dig a little bit more, see if you can make it worse. I know that's obviously sounds a little crazy, but we're trying to make progress. Just do it to your own pain level threshold. Same thing with the ball though. You know, if we want to really dig in deep on that piriformis, we can just sit on it through here and roll around. One of the really good things that I like to do for erectors and into the back, get two, whether it's tennis ball, lacrosse, whatever, take them together to create that peanut and basically lay on that and let that roll up on the outer part of the spine on those erectors and really get all that freed up. So there's going to be a lot of other different things we can do, but I thought that'd be a great start, again, for a lot of you who either are uncomfortable with it or unsure of what to do. Definitely going to help you get those muscles back, restoring more full range of motion, getting them healthier, and getting you ready to start stretching so that you're getting the most out of that to help improve that game.